Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hello Harem podcast. I am your host, Alex Luby, and I am joined, as always, by the horniest of homies to sail the seven seas, Mr. Jonathan Semrau, Anthony Luby, Wobbly Luke Farnsworth, Neil, who is,
He's going through
Neil's had a rough week. The wife is not great with him right now, so he's chilling here at the office.
She caught him with Ram on his head.
She caught him with Ram patting his head. So
who's Neil's wife?
Neilette.
We haven't got her yet.
Capybara-san.
I'm gonna need like $5 and like 40 minutes, and then I can probably go get Neil.
When are we going
Go
back to the
back.
game center to get Neil's wife?
Significant other.
Whenever she
Waifu.
stops being such a fucking bitch about it.
I'll tell you what.
Women, am I right?
I'm not going to hit your hand over that.
I like that you didn't say high five. I'm not going to hit your hand over that.
We got exciting news on the podcast today.
Neil is having a child.
Neil's pregnant. Speaking of unplanned pregnancies, it's the twins' birthday.
I mean, one of us were unplanned, in
I
all
know.
honesty.
Yeah, one of us shouldn't be here.
I don't
Yeah.
think you ever say, man, I really want to have twins right now.
I really wish that this pregnancy could be worse.
Yeah, I want to carry around two childs in
When
my
you find
stomach.
out you're pregnant, you're like, oh, yeah, this is great. And he's like, but it's twins. Ah, fuck. That's how it goes.
That's 2 times the mouths to feed.
2 times the asses to wipe.
It's 2 times everything that sucks.
Except for the college to pay.
That's
Which
hey.
in this case is 0.
Yeah.
Welcome, Mom and Dad.
Take that, sister.
No, it's the twins' birthday, so we have celebratory umbrella cupcakes that only 3 of us can eat.
Hey, I get to look at it. I just want to smell it.
Don't. That's deadly.
It smells good.
So we got these delicious cupcakes, and I got them wine, but Neil commandeered it. So,
There's these ones here too.
so I guess this is the special Hello Harem twin birthday bash.
Extravaganza.
Yeah,
Oh my
where's
god,
the
you know,
party
if we would have
poppers?
fucking planned about this, we could have like talked about similar anime as if they were twins and made some kind of discussion about that.
I'm sure we can pull some out our ass.
I have a big ass, so we can definitely
We can get to some in the show.
get to Poland.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Poland.
Tugging.
On top of gifts,
Squeezing.
if you guys see this very lovely red scarf here, it's actually a scarf. Jonathan's grandfather gifted this to the podcast when he went to China. Yeah, it's from.
By the way, he went to China like 12 or 13 years ago. This just came into my possession
Yeah.
today.
But
Either-
it's
either way,
lovely.
it's
It's a
gifted.
beautiful
It is
piece
nice.
of Chinese. What would you call it? Art,
Scarfery.
scarfery. It's very nice though. It's 100% silk, so it says on the tag. But it's really nice. It's got some cool designs on there. Some traditional Chinese designs. Lovely. Thank you, Jonathan's grandpa, Papaw. Thank
Thanks,
you very
Grandpa.
much. I very much
Appreciate
appreciate it. It kind of sets the whole table.
It definitely helps not
Oh,
look
yeah.
so sad.
Yeah, the
It's that little bit of color.
it's nice. I really like
It's a
it.
pop of
what?
color.
You know what helped us not look so sad? If you guys could hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. Also, check out Wizard 101.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Oyochi Green Tea.
No, it's not.
I fucking
Japan's
wish.
#1
Wait,
green tea.
Did
I
you
seriously
go and
wish.
get some of that?
I walk in there after like my workout. I was just gonna get like 2 bottles and a Black Boss coffee. Walk up and pay. She's like, "There's a $10 debit card limit." I'm like, "I'll be right back." So I just grabbed a fuck ton more.
Luke, I was gonna go tomorrow and get you one
Oh, okay,
because I
thank
saw
you.
that today. I'm like, oh, I really want some.
I was, speaking of grandparents, I saw this tweet that made me laugh a lot. It said, being a white grandparent, specifically a grandpa, must be very hard because a baby makes a noise one time and then for the next 60 years your name is Pee-Poo.
Oh, that is good. That is real good.
That's actually really funny.
Could you imagine that? You went to fucking Korea. You lived a full life, started a business, retired, and had a beautiful family, and then your fucking grandkid comes out, and then your name's Peepoo until you die.
Let's go see Grandpa Peepoo.
Let's go see Peepoo. Peepoo! He's like, oh, you little bastard.
What do you want, you little shits?
Oh, my friends laugh at me.
My friends think I'm fucking a loser now.
Before we get into any topics of today, we'll do the normal, like, how was everyone's week? Nothing happened for me, but I did want to share something. So all week I've been having these really, really fucking weird dreams. And I had one today, but I don't remember it anymore. But on Tuesday, it was so weird that I decided to write it down. Can I read you guys my dream?
I would love for you to.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
It was, I still remember it very vividly. It was really weird.
Did you fight King Shit and Pissin'?
No.
Coming farting.
It was just,
Licking, sucking?
it was just so weird. So, let me start you off. So,
Sorry.
it starts off with, I get woken up by a phone call from Jonathan. I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, I'm in Japan. I'm like, what? I'm like, and I ask how he got there. He's like, by a cannon.
He Mario 64'd it.
So somehow Jonathan got to Japan by a cannon.
Evil Knievel had ass.
So anyway, he invites me and I go. Japan was a lot more like Disneyland.
How did you get there?
I don't know. I was just there. Maybe a cannon. Anyway, like, Japan didn't look like Japan. It looked like Disneyland.
That's because you were in Tokyo Disney.
Maybe. I don't know, but it was fucking weird. Everything looked super, like, not fantasy, but just like you're in Disney World. It was the weirdest thing. And, so I'm there, and me and...
Sorry, keep talking.
So I meet up with Jonathan, and we meet outside this building, and we were like, hey, let's go do something fun. Let's go get pictures taken. Like, you know how Japan has those photo booths, those picturica things where they like distort your face?
Yeah.
So we go into there, and for whatever fucking reason, there's three girls that work at Listen Flavor who are laughing at us. And they had the like black masks on, and they were laughing at us. I was like, man, my favorite brand is laughing at me.
We got humiliated.
I don't know. So anyway, we walk out of the photo booth, and Jonathan's gone, and they get a phone call.
Probably had a return cannon.
Oh no! You're like you. God, I cannot speak. But you call me, and you're like, "Hey, meet me at the bar." I'm like, "Okay." So I walk into this bar. The weirdest fucking bar in the entire world. Literally, if you picture, what was the pirate's name with the tentacles on his face?
Davy Jones.
Davy Jones. This was like a Davy Jones themed bar.
That'd be sick.
The colors were like a deep blue, green, like aqua color.
Sounds hard.
Everything was like corroded wood with like
That sounds awesome.
stuff all over it.
Was the bar's name Davy Jones Locker?
I don't know the bar's name, but I know when I walked
That'd be
in.
sick. They'd get my patronage all the fucking time.
When I
Called
walked
Jeff's.
when I walked in the bar, the floor was not floor; it was like water, but I could walk on it. And the bartender gave me the meanest look ever. Like I was not welcome. And they just stared at me. Like when I walked in, all the patrons turned to me. Everything got silent. And I just started walking to Jonathan. And the people at the bar that looked like they were off Davy Jones' ship could like go through the floor. It was weird. They would just appear through the floor. It was like liquid water, but I could walk on it.
They came to the floor like, you need a Jack and Coke? And it's like, what? All right, I'll get you one.
Yeah.
Sorry, all we have is Pepsi, so they brought him a Pepsi and Coke.
So I meet up with Jonathan at the bar, and he's like, let's go to Tokyo. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we go to Tokyo. Again, it looks like Disneyland.
What was the point of me bringing you to a bar just to say, we're going here now?
I don't know, dude. This dream was full of jump cuts. So anyway, we go to Tokyo. And for whatever reason, Yasaka Shrine is in Tokyo. And for those of you that don't know, Yasaka Shrine is actually in Kyoto. It was like the shrine exactly, but the surrounding stuff was like Shinjuku with all the neon lights, cars racing by it, and a giant Godzilla statue.
That's
And
actually the most normal thing I've heard so far.
yeah. And we just vibed at Yasaka Shrine. This is where it gets really fucking weird. So after that, we were walking back, and for some reason, I felt like I was in high school again. I remember walking down the street in Tokyo, seeing one of the kids I went to high school with, who was in my steel drums class, who loved Naruto and running like Naruto down the hallway. He was actually super nice to me, but I forget his name. But he was there. We said hi, and me and Jonathan were like, man, I don't feel like going to school, so let's skip. So we skipped.
Bro, Sensei's going to be pissed.
I forgot we were Japanese high schoolers.
I mean, it was just like me and Anthony skipped a lot.
Like a lot.
We skipped like 2-3 times a week. So it was like normal for me. So
Go
we
to
skipped.
school, kids.
And we're walking down the street, and for whatever reason, my old elementary school is to my right, St. Peter's. And they're having a car wash in the parking lot. So they pull me and Jonathan in, and they're like, hey, do you guys want to participate in the car wash? We're like, I guess. And they're like, you have no choice. Take your clothes off. So me and Jonathan strip down to our skivvies, and they hand us a bucket, soap, and a sponge. And they tell us to lather ourselves and wash the cars.
All right, I'm going to be like completely honest. If I paid for a car wash and two dudes walk up
And start rubbing
pressing
their
their
bodies.
junk all over my windshield, I'm going to be pissed. I want my money back.
Someone's getting socked in the mouth.
Okay, let me break this down then.
No, we're skipping.
Wait, I have something to say.
Okay.
All right.
We are in Japan. It's actually Disney World. We're high schoolers. We're skipping class. We walk past an elementary school that's having a sexy car wash. It's an elementary school. They ask us to join, and then we say yes. So yeah, all right, keep going.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So this is the last segment of the dream. So me and Jonathan, they pay us, and then me and Jonathan leave. We're at my old house on 23rd Street.
So
And Anthony, we're in the living room right before the door that went to the porch. You know, the big wooden one.
I do know that
Yeah.
one.
So we're out there, and my cousin walks in and says, "I'm hungry. I'm going to Giant Eagle to get a hungry man." And then I woke up.
you know what's crazy about this?
What?
I had that same dream.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
No, you did not.
No, I didn't.
Because I feel like I was tripping on acid or something.
You
Like,
were. That's fucking
like
weird.
Gatorade spiked my drink for whatever reason before I went to bed. And then this was in my mind all night.
Yeah, that was weird.
He wanted backyard barbecue, just to be clear. I do know the flavor he wanted. That's not a joke. I'm not pulling shit out my ass. That actually happened.
You don't pull, you push it out.
You can pull.
You could pull.
How?
You would know.
You would know, Doc.
Yeah, Doc.
We don't dig it out. Oh, you haven't had a shit in a while.
Yeah, that was Tippy's
Hold on, guys.
crazy dream. I had a new dream every single night, but that was the one that I remember most.
That was,
I
you know,
you know.
okay.
Yeah.
Alex, that was so
I will say
fucked.
the Davy Jones themed bar though, like I know exactly what it looks like in my head. Dude, it would be so fucking cool.
You guys want to start a bar?
It sounds hard.
It was so cool. It like the windows that looked outside weren't outside. They were literally like underwater. Everything like it just had a blue underwater hue to it.
It might be hard to get the windows underwater, but other than that, I feel like we can do it.
It was so cool.
Yo, these are delicious.
How do you make
I like cupcakes.
How do you make water walkable?
I don't know.
Epoxy?
No, like
Like
No.
liquid water you can't
you
walk
just be
on.
Jesus.
Make it a non-Newtonian fluid.
Actually, that would suck because then you get your shoes wet.
Only if you tried.
You'd have to be able to walk on the water and traverse through it.
Actually, if you were just like stomping everywhere, it wouldn't get wet. The pressure, you would just be able to walk.
Dude, I don't know.
With a non-Newtonian fluid.
I can't read.
You could just like use a holograph or like a projector to project water onto the floor. Bam, you're done.
Shadows.
I bet Disney could do it. Give them 20 years.
Or we could just make an entire floor of a bar of non-Newtonian fluid and watch everyone spill their drinks and get mad.
Yeah, that was my dream. I just wanted to bring that up because it was really weird.
Oh, fuck.
Your dreams
I was
are a
thinking-
lot nicer than mine.
I was thinking about it. I mean, I have nightmares for sure, but this was like one of the only dreams I actually remembered so vividly.
Yeah, I still remember one I had the other day. Alex, I actually told you about this one. It was the one where we were in China. And like, I don't know, we were just in China. I'm not going to go like into full detail,
China.
but I can't even remember who all was there. But the sky was very clear. We looked at the stars. We're like, wow, look at the stars. And we were wandering through China, trying not to get caught by, I can't remember who made it out of China.
Antifa.
What's Antifa
Dude.
doing in China?
Dude, Antifa's in China?
No.
Antifa.
Do any of our viewers ever have crazy dreams?
I actually started a dream journal a while ago.
I'd love to.
That's pretty good with the, you guys leave a comment if you've had
Yeah,
any
leave a
crazy
comment if
dreams
you
like that.
tell us your crazy dream. Leave
Your
a comment of your
craziest
craziest
dream. You
dream.
on Spotify, hop over to YouTube. You don't even have to watch the video. I don't give a shit.
Just comment.
Comment and tell us what your craziest dream was.
Yeah, give us your craziest dream because I'm curious now. Dreams are really interesting.
Yeah.
They're super crazy.
Yeah.
You know, we like don't even know anything about dreams. Like scientists are baffled by dreams. They
Are
don't
they
know shit
really?
about them. Yeah, they don't know shit about them.
I'd love to know more about dreams. I mean, there's people who like psychics who supposedly like read your dreams.
I mean, that shit's been going on forever.
Oh.
The only thing I know is that any face you see in your dreams is a face you've seen before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can't see because your brain can't create
Mhm.
a face it hasn't seen. So even if you've caught a glimpse of someone out of the corner of your eye, if your brain registers a face, it'll put them in your dream.
That's kind of crazy.
I was looking for that dream journal I had in my notes, and just the only note that I found of worth was this.
Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how did you like the show?
So that's just
God damn it.
I don't know what's going on with me. Oh, okay.
Other than that, Mrs. Kennedy, how did you like Dallas?
The Dallas mayor.
That's like the level of. Have you guys liked my evolution on my Twitter? I've decided I'm just gonna make it a cesspool of things I say.
Luke's
shit
Twitter is
posting.
just like memes about a year ago. It is literally just collapsing in on itself.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just a
all
big
it
shit
is.
post.
Today I tweeted, subway stations be like, the subway is here, you should get in before it leaves. Haha.
Was the haha necessary?
Just knocked your socks
Was it
off.
really?
It's in the quotes. That's what they say.
Haha.
Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln.
I taught Justin how to ride a motorcycle yesterday.
You did.
I did.
How did that go?
It went good. It went pretty good.
Did you learn okay?
Yeah, he's heavy on the clutch though. Like
Didn't
when
he
he's,
buy a bike?
yeah,
Mhm.
that's the one I was teaching him to ride.
He bought a 2006 Honda Shadow 650.
I don't know what year it is. I know it's a Shadow 650.
Poggers.
Yeah, when he's making a turn, he gets nervous and he holds the clutch.
Mhm.
He's afraid it's gonna stall. I'm like, homie, you're rolling. You ain't gonna stall anywhere.
Yeah.
So he's heavy on the clutch, but yeah, it's just a habit you'll break out of.
That was his first time riding, though, right?
Yeah, he was doing figure eights and he was having a ball.
Did he stall ever?
Yeah.
Did he?
Oh yeah.
Stalling. What a shitty thing to do.
Anyway, did you guys know the Mona Lisa was a commission?
By who?
I don't know. I don't know. I can Google it.
Where?
Who
Where?
commission? I don't know, France or something. The Mona Lisa. It says Da Vinci commissioned it.
Da Vinci commissioned.
Didn't he paint it?
Maybe he's just saying that.
He's like, hey,
Maybe
I
he
want to do a
commissioned
painting.
it and then put his name on it.
No, I think he
Come
painted
to the
it.
Hello Harem for all of your classic art theories.
Yeah.
I think he painted it.
Vincent van Gogh was actually from Saudi Arabia.
You know, Vincent Van
He's from
Gogh.
Utah.
He actually. Every time I hear about Vincent Van Gogh, I think like he lived in like the 17th or 18th century. He didn't die like crazy long ago, which is
Didn't he die in the 50s or 60s?
something like that. Yeah, he's
I for some reason want to say like 57 is when he
I
died.
feel like that's too soon. I know it wasn't that long ago, but the 50s I feel like is a little soon.
Died in 1890.
Yeah,
Okay, not Van
that's
Gogh.
so
What's the
dumb.
other guy?
Picasso.
Yes.
Pica-
Picasso.
yeah, Picasso,
died
yeah.
super
Yeah,
soon.
that's who I'm thinking of.
No, Van Gogh's old as fuck. Not that
Okay.
old.
Picasso
but like-
died in 73.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Like, I imagine all those classical.
He was born in
artists.
81. He was an old ass
Picasso
man.
wasn't really classical. He's
Not classical, but famous.
he's very famous.
Very famous.
He was 92 when he died.
What a gamer.
I like Van Gogh's art better than Picasso's.
Yeah, same.
They're both good.
Picasso's is, from what I've seen, it's super abstract.
Have you seen the evolution of Picasso's paintings where
It just
like
goes downhill.
yeah,
like,
so
not
like
really.
bonkers.
he starts out like normal paintings, they look really good, and then it just turns into squares.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they say it's like the effect of drugs or something. Because I think I don't know how true this is, but from what I've heard is that a lot of artists actually take like LSD and stuff to get,
Mm-hmm.
because it gives you visual bullshit.
Yeah.
It's sensorial, so you can actually like that's how a lot of paintings.
Yeah.
Van Gogh said, "Ayo, keep the LSD. I'm schizophrenic."
Well, Marilyn Manson usually paints with absinthe.
He's
yeah,
just weird.
he's just
Yeah.
He beats the shit out of women now.
Yeah. But
That's a sentence.
he painted with absinthe. So that confirms Luke's
So anyway,
message.
back to your regularly scheduled program.
Yeah.
Well, today being March 11th.
your
well,
birthday.
Not that.
Uh-oh.
We're over that. That's
Same day.
done. Same day. And technically, Japan being March 12th, so yesterday would have been in Japan the actual date, but it's 10-year anniversary of the Fukushima and Tohoku earthquake and tsunami, which is bonkers.
And I said it's your birthday, and you just told me it was a natural disaster.
Oh, yeah, my half birthday's 9/11.
Yeah.
Let's get on with it.
Yeah, I was born 3 days before.
Look what you did.
A year and 3 days before. This was 3 days after my birthday.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, happy first birthday, Jay.
The towers fell.
The first tower has collapsed.
Yeah. But it is the 10-year anniversary of the Great Tohoku Earthquake and Fukushima tsunami. So we thought we'd talk about that a little bit, give some interesting facts on what happened, and things of that sort, because it was very bad disaster. I think it was Japan's worst natural disaster in recorded Japanese history, I believe.
The
So-
largest earthquake ever, I think, recorded.
I believe so. 9.1 magnitude.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
it was-
9.1
it was absolutely
magnitude.
bonkers.
The Japan's other really bad earthquake was in Kobe. That happened in 1995. That was but it was a 7.5 magnitude earthquake.
Jesus.
Happened
Do you
in
know
Kobe.
what the one in San Francisco was?
Oh, in like the early
Yeah, the
1900s.
very, very old San Francisco. one.
I think it was like an 8.3.
I think it was in the
'Cause
8s.
that just demolished the city.
Yeah, that one was
the city was gone.
crazy.
1906.
I'm very curious.
Earthquakes are terrifying.
They are.
It was
We're
a 7.9.
I was only a set.
Pretty much an
All right,
8.
again with the only.
Yeah.
But that was a 7.9, and this one was
9.1.
That was its estimated moment magnitude and a maximum Mercalli intensity of 11.
all right. And we're back, and I
Buzzing
think
good.
I was just on what was I talking about? A video that I watched. Damn it! I can't remember the thought. I was gonna say something about this video. I remember who it was by. I think it was by Go North Japan. Anyway, speaking of Go North Japan, he did a video on it the other day, and he just went around and talked to locals and visited the museum, which is free to go to. And if you're in the area, stop by. He said it was really good. But there is a group that started 10 years ago after the earthquake and tsunami that is accepting donations, and they're going to plant cherry blossom trees along the whole line of where the water went up to. So wherever the water went, they're going to plant cherry blossom trees. And when those bloom in the spring, you can get a visual representation of just how far the water went inland, which is really cool. So if you would consider donating to that, that's where your money will go, to those cherry blossom trees.
I'm pulling it up now. The description won't open.
I thought you were just
Okay,
fucking
yeah,
off.
yeah. I have the name of the charity.
Oh yeah, say it.
The charity is Sakuta Line 311 charity site. It's sakutaline331.org. So if you want to help donate
I'm gonna give you in the description.
some of that to the cherry tree line, I'm going to do that tonight. I was going to do it last night, but I forgot. But I will be donating, so I hope to see some people and some viewers donating as well. Plant a beautiful cherry blossom tree along the line where the waves stopped. It'd be a help to a lot of the people over in Tohoku, and it would mean a lot to a lot of people. So you guys should consider donating. That'd be really cool.
Also, I mean, there were, I think, like 4 videos that I want to mention in this. That one, obviously, that was one of the points. But another one I watched last night was by Tokyo Lens. And his video was this woman who was swept away during the tsunami, and she survived.
Like by the water
Yes,
and
by the
everything?
water. So what the video essentially was just filming her. It wasn't like a sit-down interview. They started where the shaking first happened for her, and she was like, I was standing here, and then she went on this long journey of what she did during that whole process of when the water got to her and stuff, and it was wild. She was 54 at the time, 64 now.
Wow.
And she was moving, like she was running. I was like, wow, this woman still has like a kick in her step. But
Pep.
yeah, pep in her step. What was kind of neat was they had a mountain right behind her business. I think it was like a hotel restaurant or something. But that was their evacuation zone. They would go up the mountain so the water couldn't get them, obviously. So she went and just taking them around. And towards the end, she got swept away by the water, and she like didn't even realize it. She's like, "Oh, the sky's blue, I'm wet, and I'm underwater." And I think she was pinned by a boat, but then the boat went away, and she just reached her hands up, and someone grabbed him, and she went on this bus tire. And there were a few more people who got swept away, but no one in the original video, because it was on film, died from being swept away by the water. Which is
Really?
crazy to see. Like, there was this little alley, and you could just see the water flowing in, and these people running up to try and get up this mountain, and then boom, they get swept away. But none of them died, which is really cool. It was pretty wild.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it was crazy.
No one died. I mean, thank God, but like, that's kind of like miraculous.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how long she was underwater or something,
Mhm.
but I know I wouldn't want to be swept away by a tsunami.
Oh, absolutely not.
No,
No.
that would kind of suck.
Going
Really
out
put
to
a
sea is
damper
my
on my
biggest
mood.
fear. What?
Is it really?
Really put a damper on my mood.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. Like the ocean, deep water is my biggest fear.
You have thalassophobia.
Yeah, for sure.
Thalassophobic.
I'm just like
It's
like,
a very common fear.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what I hear.
I think it's. Look, if you are in the ocean and you look down and all you see are light rays going down, and you don't see anything they're hitting.
All right, and we're back again. The other camera decided to shut off this time, and we were just talking about thalassophobia.
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 What were we saying?
You were talking about being scared of deep water.
Oh,
after
it was
talking about a woman getting
about the
pulled out
light
to sea.
the light rays coming through
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
seeing nothing below
yeah,
you.
that would be the scariest
And I was gonna
shit
make
in
a
the world.
point.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, even if people aren't inherently scared of the ocean, I feel like when everybody goes in the ocean to that depth, there's always a natural sense of vulnerability. It's like going camping, like way camping, like backpacking camping, where like you have nothing around you, you're miles away from anyone, and then once the sun goes down and the dark hits, your natural instincts are just, even if it's not necessarily scared, it's fear. Because you don't know what's around you. You can't see. You can hear, but you can't see. And you're just naturally fearful and alert.
I think part of that comes with the fact that, apart from being the intellectually superior species, except for dolphins,
They'll beat us one day.
humans are, I think, a very flawed creature in pretty much any environment. Like, I'm not saying that we don't have the potential to survive in the woods. We do, obviously. We're here right now. I am saying, though, for the instance of the water, there's everything in the water that can swim better than you.
Yeah.
In the instance of being on land, there's a lot of shit on land that can run faster than you.
Yeah, you are not at the top of the food chain out
No,
there.
we're not at the top of the food chain at all. Like, if you are just out there, dick out in the mob, you're not exactly in the best position.
Yeah.
Granted, the only reason that we won is because we were like, oh man, I can tape a rock to a fucking stick, and now I can just bash skulls in. Like,
Yeah.
that's all.
Like,
That's all that determined it.
The only defense we had was creating a weapon. That was it.
Yeah, monkeys were like rock, stick.
Yeah, like you try
hit,
punching a
head,
Bengal
done.
tiger, it's not going to do shit. It's still going to rip your throat out.
Catch Alex out in the woods. Come on, come on! Jumps at him, he swings, and he's just dead.
You big pussy.
Let me see.
The tiger's just like, dude,
Come on,
what the fuck?
I'm a tiger.
Well, while we were on break, are we still talking about the?
Yeah, there was
there's
there were
a
There's
few
more
more
topics. Okay, we'll do
there's a
that.
few
Go
more
on.
yeah,
things
there
I
were a
wanna
couple
touch
facts of Fukushima that
Please
I wanted to
do.
touch on.
Facts and logic.
So there's these really popular YouTube channels. This one guy's name is like Simon Whistler, I believe. Everyone's seen his fucking videos. He has like infographics, geographics, biographics.
He makes all those?
I don't know if he makes them all, but he narrates all of them. He's in all the
Oh,
videos.
he's the narrator.
Yeah, and he has another channel called like Mega Machines or Mega Projects or something like that. I love his videos. They're really, really awesome videos. Highly recommend you go check out his stuff. It's fucking packed full of great content. Anyway, on the Geographics channel, I think the second video on that channel is Fukushima. And it was just the other day I watched it. And I was just learning about Fukushima, a lot of things I didn't know. Because I didn't know too much about the nuclear disaster itself. When it came to like nuclear disasters, I think everyone gets like into Chernobyl at some point, and they just know a lot about Chernobyl. And that was me. I didn't know anything else about like Fukushima. But Fukushima was the second worst nuclear disaster in history. I think the scale they used to measure them goes up to like 7. I can't remember what it's called, but Fukushima ranked a 7 on that scale. Which is, like,
I'm trying
the
to
highest.
remember.
The boom scale.
Very well.
It's on the
maybe.
tip of my tongue.
Luke's gonna find it here in a
Fuck,
second.
what is it?
I'll just keep going until he finds it. Just
Okay.
like, I don't know. hit
Just
me or some
interrupt
shit.
him.
Anyway, so what happened to Fukushima was there were 2 plants. There was like the Daiichi and like the Daiichi. They were right on the coast. And when the waves hit, they knocked out all the power. And nuclear facilities cool down with power. They send water in, and over a period of like 24 hours, it cools down the fuel rods so they can't erupt. What happened was there was no fresh water to go in and cool these down. So they were just getting hotter and hotter. And to avoid explosion, that was the goal. They didn't want anything to explode and spread nuclear fallout all over the place. So without power, I think these employees he said they were working for like 9 straight days around the clock.
No way.
Since their homes were destroyed, they had nowhere to go to. So these employees, very commendable. What they did was they went out to the parking lot and got car batteries and jerry-rigged some sort of fucking crazy thing to try and bring power back up. But it wasn't enough, and they put an order in for water, but like not enough water got there. So these fuel rods got too hot, and they were met with a decision. Either we let them explode, or we let off some steam. And either way, it's just shit. Because if you let off the steam, it still has the nuclear fallout in it.
Radiated.
So it's a lose-lose situation. So they were letting out some steam, and I think there were 6 or 7 reactors at the Daiichi plant, and 3 of them exploded because they didn't get the steam out in time. So they exploded and spread nuclear fallout all around the place. And they said the exclusion zone was 12 miles, but that was quickly extended further beyond 12 miles. And it got in the Pacific Ocean, and seawater was tainted, and radiation was super high all around the place. And if you go to Fukushima, there was still it's abandoned. It looks kind of like Pripyat in some parts, where there's just nobody there, abandoned buildings, cars, everything is just fucked. And what kind of sucks about that whole thing, in my opinion, is that all the employees got shit on for working for a nuclear facility. I mean, obviously, like, you're going to be mad and upset that happened.
Yeah.
Because, in my opinion, having a nuclear facility on the coast of a very active fault line, expecting tsunamis to happen because it's going to happen, is just kind of dumb, in my opinion. But I don't know anything about nuclear power plant
I mean,
construction.
maybe it has to do with the seawater.
They were not allowed to use seawater to cool it because the seawater would cause corrosion.
Would seawater be used as a form of energy though? I'm not talking like, oh, let's put seawater and start our fucking panel or something. I'm talking like
I'm unsure.
you know how like water wheels
Hydropower?
work? Hydropower, yeah.
But if you look at like the Chernobyl plant, that wasn't near an ocean. That was in the middle of Europe.
That's fair.
But then again, I'm not a fucking nuclear
But that was
scientist. I don't know
also
about this too much.
that was also in the 80s. This was 30 years
Anyway.
later.
all the employees got fucking shit on, like bad. They were hated for pretty much essentially like causing the disaster. And in my eyes, I just think that's like pretty shitty because these guys were working around the clock to try and stop an
Those
even
dudes are like
bigger
heroes.
nuclear disaster from happening. If they wouldn't have done anything, like all 6 or 7 of those would have fucking exploded. And I think only 3 did, which still sucks. It's still awful. But the fact that they worked days without rest, jerry-rigged car batteries to try and get things back to normal is extremely commendable in my opinion. So my hat's off to those guys.
Did any of them die? Or are they still alive?
A lot of them are still alive, but chances are they're going to die very early from cancer.
Yeah, the nuclear fallout. That's wild.
Yeah,
Those dudes are
crazy.
geniuses.
Jesus.
I believe it is the INES scale, the International Nuclear Event Scale,
INES.
Oh,
or the
yes.
International Nuclear and Radiological Event Scale.
What does it say? I see a 7 there. What does that say?
7, there are only 2 7s to ever occur, and it's Chernobyl and Fukushima.
Well, that must be it then. Was it the INES?
INES.
INES.
And then there's only 1 6 ever, and it was Kishdim disaster and Mayak chemical combine in the Soviet Union in 57.
Of course, it's another Soviet one.
Come on.
Anyway, yeah, Fukushima was wild.
That's insane.
I had a couple interesting facts. 3 facts really. 2 about the wave. The tsunami from the wave was so great that it. So the earthquake happened off the coast of Sendai, and the wave fallout went in obviously in all directions, so far west that it hit the coast of California, and I think the waves got like I don't want to say 8 feet high, but it took out like docks and shit all the way over in California.
Wow.
That's crazy because if you think about how much
How
much
fast?
less of a distance it had to travel to get to that part of Japan that it hit. And then it went all the way across the Pacific, still with power and speed, and still caused damage in the U.S.
The wave to hit Japan was 15 meters high.
I think their seawalls were...
What's 15 meters in feet? I'm sorry.
I don't know honestly.
Luke, what's 15 meters in feet?
I think that's like 30 feet, like 32 feet.
I am approximately 1.6 meters, I think.
How tall are you?
Or 1.8 meters, and I'm 6'2".
Dude, that's
big as fuck.
That's like 32 feet.
I think it's
It's
more.
just very rough Alex math.
Well, I don't think it was correct.
Yeah, he's just Googling meters. If you
I think it was
haven't
like
seen
50. Almost 50 feet.
50 feet.
I think their seawalls were 5 meters.
They were 5 meters. They were like 5 or 8 meters.
Oh, that.
And this wave was 15 meters
That
high.
didn't do shit.
Yeah,
No.
I'm around 1.9 meters tall.
Oh my
The
god.
the breakwater didn't do shit.
1.9.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Can't go fishing.
Can't go fishing.
Can't go fishing.
Thinking the same thing.
And then my last fact, this one I found amazing or astounding. When the
Incredible.
earthquake hit, it was so powerful, it knocked the earth off its axis by 25 centimeters.
That's a lot.
That's a fuck ton. It moved the entire earth 25
It
centimeters.
probably changed weather for everybody.
Yeah, it might have. I mean, like that's what's 25 centimeters like? I mean, it might be like that
I'm not
much.
gonna try and do this.
It sucks.
It's
Like
2.58 centimeters per inch.
Wow, that's pretty big.
So about 12 feet. Or 12,
12.
inches.
So like
inches,
a
about
whole,
foot.
so almost like a whole foot.
Yeah.
You're thinking the same thing I am.
you didn't know.
You didn't fucking
You didn't
It
know.
was
do
like
that.
it was like 10 inches.
No, I
That's
didn't.
a lot.
Luke said that, and Alex was like, "That's big," and me and Anthony both just went.
He doesn't.
Wait, inches? Yeah, I know inches.
You didn't know the conversion of 2.5 like inches per your
Yeah, 'cause
It's like
centimeters.
2.56.
It was the
I'm sorry.
blank stare you gave when he said 25 centimeters, and then he said the conversion, and you just went.
2.5 centimeters per per inch,
Right,
right?
Not the
It
conversion
wasn't
where it's
that.
like you didn't do the like math. You didn't.
Oh, I like pieced it together. I mean, I
Alright,
didn't
but-
solve
It was
the
just
equation.
Your, it was
or
just
anything.
your.
Oh, that's
That's
big.
big.
Like I had like an idea in my head. It wasn't really like complete.
If you go into a science-related major, there's the fun things you learn. You memorize that 2.56 centimeters is an inch.
Well, that's so good to know because America's the only ass-backward country that uses fucking
You
12
know,
Standard.
inches.
The imperial
We use
system
the
is great.
standard imperial system.
you know, I've grown to say, you know what, I want to get the metric system.
I
'cause
want to go metric.
My classes suck so much worse doing both conversions.
I'd
and
rather
it
go
and everything.
metric.
They make us do
It's
metric
so
too.
hard.
It's awful.
It's
I'd rather
so
go
bad.
metric.
I don't know like metric for like distances. I just know it for fluids.
I know a little bit because track.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you run the 400 meter.
What's 15 milliliters converted into cups?
When it comes
Dude,
to
I
that,
have not
don't
been in
fucking
school
know.
for like 3 to 4 years. I don't know shit.
Don't look at me. I can't get cups of electricity, so I don't give a shit.
Ah yes, thank you, Luke. That was a very interesting topic.
It was,
that
man.
very good.
I mean, the Tohoku earthquake was.
Did you know that
Like-
when the Fukushima disaster was going on, they thought about evacuating Tokyo?
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah, they were considering evacuating Tokyo, which was 140 miles away.
I was watching videos, some of which were in Tokyo when it happened. There was this guy in the airport, and like, he was with his like wife and daughter or something, and they were just chilling in like this airport cafe. He could see out the window to the runway and like the lobby down below, and they're just chilling up there, and everything starts shaking, and it's like super bad at this point, but then like 15 seconds in, it like clicks, and everything gets like 10 times more intense. Like he falls off his chair, shit's falling everywhere, babies are screaming and shit. I was like, oh my god! I think the earthquake lasted for an entire minute.
I think it was 5 minutes.
That'd be the
5
icing on the
minutes?
cake is babies screaming, like, shut the fuck up, we're all in the same thing.
Yeah, I get it. You don't hear me crying.
Yeah, I get it. Boo-hoo, oh no. Go to sleep. It's like a rocking chair.
There's just a lot of interesting stuff that happened
Very.
with that whole thing.
I also watched this really not cool, but video. It was like CCTV footage, and it was filming this bridge and this kind of water inlet. So you could see as the tsunami was getting closer and closer, the water from like the riverbed was just moving way out to sea, and you're like, oh, it's coming very close. And
Oh, really?
Yeah. When that happened, you can see all the water flow into the ocean and then just fucking rush
That's
back.
that dude, that part about tsunamis is so fucking scary. Like you're just standing on the beach and you're like,
Hey, where's the water going?
hey yo, where the water
Yeah,
going?
it's just like regressing back. You're like, oh no.
You're like, oh,
What was
fuck."
that tsunami that hit? Was it the Philippines?
Oh
Or around
shit!
in-
Yeah,
it was
they had a
around India.
really bad one in Southeast Asia.
I can't remember what that was.
That was a really bad one.
I think that's like in. I don't know. That's to me, I think like the most known tsunami.
Is that the one that was like there was a video of the dude in like the 5th or 6th story of a hotel and it was like going over houses and shit?
Probably.
Was it like clear skies and stuff? Like,
Yeah.
sunny out.
Yeah.
probably.
And it was like going over like it was like when it hit the hotel, like he got wet. Like shit like that.
It might have been.
probably. Well, and the last thing I want to say about the Tohoku stuff, I want to end it on a positive note.
Mhm.
So there's this video that a very popular YouTuber, me and Alex watch him a ton. Chris Broad did, and he was talking about it, and he talked a bit more about the people who rebuilt afterwards and what they did afterwards, which is very uplifting stuff. The one thing I want to say is this one guy started a strawberry farm in the Fukushima area, and he has the most like expensive, luxurious strawberries money can buy, and it's just very uplifting because he turned a shitty disaster into something new. You know, you get fresh strawberries as far as the eye can see. It's super cool to watch. It's great to see the people rebuild and move on from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chris Broad probably has the best documentary on it out there so far. So you guys should definitely if you haven't seen anything on Fukushima, a really good one to watch is Chris Broad's. It's amazingly well produced. Chris Broad is so talented with that shit. I'm so jealous. I want to be as good as him one day.
So we'll end on a positive note of strawberries.
Yeah. So
Fantastic.
there are a whole bunch of charities though you can donate to and stuff. We gave one, Sakuda311.org. So go and check that out.
That was 301.
I think it's 311.
It'll be in the description.
It'll be in the description.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description. So If you guys are ever feeling generous, I'm sure you can find one online to donate. It would mean a lot to them. And if you are in Japan or planning a trip, go ahead and go north. Go visit north. Not only do your tourism money helps, but it means a lot to the people living up there. So go head north. It's a beautiful country up there. Not a lot of people go north in Japan. They all go south.
Thanks,
Go
Alex.
North Japan.
Go North Japan.
Thanks, Alex.
You're welcome, dude. I'm out here promoting.
Hell yeah, dude.
All
Promoting
right,
a
Jay,
country.
you had a story. Let's hear this story.
I do have a story. Put your belts on. It's about to get booked.
I need to stop reading this then.
I forgot one.
I'm getting into like this really, really in-depth analysis as to how they determine cancerous effects of radiation post
Oh, shit.
things, and they use the linear no threshold model. When I was reading about it, it's really cool.
Luke
Whoa.
is diving into
I'd like
a
to hear
hole.
that after the cast.
It's
That
like
actually does
super
sound
cool.
interesting.
Also, not to ruin your uplifting facts, but there has been one cancer death attributed to radiation exposure in Fukushima, and they're expecting upwards of 1,800.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
I'm going to minimize this so I don't read it anymore and listen to Jay. I'm going to close my laptop.
Okay. So, for those of you who have been watching, the podcast
That was
Luke
so
just threw his
loud.
laptop. For those of you who have been watching the podcast for a while, you know that I am in college, as well as Luke. And so, for those of you in America, you know that college is the worst thing you can do financially for yourself ever. So my freshman year of college,
Just go.
Just
Go
keep
on.
going. Yeah, I'm just.
So my
making fun of you.
freshman year of college, I needed a book for a human growth and development class I needed as a prerequisite for my major. So I went to the bookstore and I was looking, and the book was like wicked crazy expensive. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't want to pay that much for a book I'm going to use for a semester and then never look at again. So I went online to look for alternatives, and I found out that Amazon has a rental service.
Oh, it's this story.
Oh,
They
man.
they have.
yeah.
I resolved that story tonight. This
Did
story
you?
is prevalent again.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah. So Amazon has a book rental service for college students where they will rent you out books for really fucking cheap. So the book I needed, it was like a $200 fucking book. I got it for $30 just as a rental. Crazy, right? So that was my freshman year of college. Jump ahead to like 2 semesters following that day. Or actually, it would be the following semester. So the following semester, I get a message from Amazon that says, hey, you never returned the book. And I was like, oh, shit, I never returned that book. So I dig through my room, and I'm looking around like crazy. And I'm like, fuck, I cannot find this book anywhere. So I panicked. I disconnected my credit card information from Amazon. So they couldn't charge me for it. Then I accidentally broke my credit card, so I got a whole new card. So I no longer have a card linked to this account, and I have changed my card information entirely. So Amazon can't bill me, but they can email the fuck out of me. So this was 3 or 4. So this was like a year and a couple months ago that this happened. They've been emailing me to this day. Like once a week, they email me. They're like, hey, you never returned the book and your card's not in it anymore. We need your information. I'm like, fuck me, dude. I'm like panicking. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I don't know where the book's at. Cut to tonight.
You found it tonight?
Cut to tonight. I am sitting in my bedroom, and I am going to Athens tomorrow to visit our good friend Devin. And I'm like, I need a bag. So I go to my closet and I open it up to find a backpack, and I find my leather satchel that I carried my freshman year. I pull it out. Book's in there. I'm like, oh my God, the book's in there. So I'm thinking like, I go downstairs like, hey mom, I found that book. And she tells me, she's like, Jay, you never returned that book? I'm like, no. She was like, that was over a year ago, dude. Like, what the hell? Your credit's gonna be fucked. I went, I have credit? I didn't even know I had
Oh my
credit.
god.
So yeah, that happens. And so then I'm thinking, I'm like, I got to get this back somehow. But my card information was shadily taken down and then changed entirely. So Amazon probably isn't going to be too happy to hear from me. I get on Amazon and I message the dude. I go to like customer support and they have like a texting service. And I have the messages. My phone's about to die, so I can pull them up anyway. Amazon. Yeah, so, okay, sorry. So I go in to my customer service, and where are my messages? Alex, do you know where to find the messages?
Dude, I don't even have the app.
Cool. Cut
You
this
not
out.
have the Amazon app.
I browse
Browse what without the app?
Chrome.
Bro, that's so inefficient.
I browse.
Okay. A message from Amazon customer service. Oh, I guess I can't see him anymore.
No, I wanted to see him.
Oh, wait. No, I can't see him.
TLDR.
TLDR. TLDR. I talked to the Amazon guy whose name was Ube. I said, "Hi, Ube. I have a quandary about the book I rented a year ago that I never returned." Dude's like, "Hi, John. I'm sure we can get this figured out." I'm like, "Okay." He said, and then he asks me, "What seems to be the problem with your rental?" I told him everything. I said a year ago, I was a freshman in college. It was a year ago, I was a freshman in college. I rented a book. I didn't return it. You were going to charge me. I panicked. I deactivated my credit card. And he just says, "Okay, let's get this sorted out." And I'm like, okay. Like 45 minutes pass without a text from Ube. My mom and sister are making jokes about how Jay's going to go to debtor's prison, how I'll never be able to buy an apartment. They're just laughing their asses off at me. Ube messages me, and I screenshotted this one because I knew it would be prevalent.
Oh, thank God, Ube.
Let's go. I screenshotted this. He messages me. This is after this. He said, "Don't worry. I'm sure I can help you with this issue. Let me check the available options." I said, "Thank you, Ube." He responds 45 minutes later. "Thank you for waiting. To avoid further inconvenience, I've closed the rental. Be assured you will not be charged. Please keep the book or donate it to whoever you wish. Would that be a fine solution?"
No
You said
fucking
hell
way.
fucking
I said
yes,
that would be
Ube.
an excellent solution. Thank you, Ube.
You know, I have a theory to this.
So here's what I'm going with this.
You scammed the Jeff Bezos.
I scammed the Jeff Bezos. I got a free book from Ube. It is a perfect condition rental book. Stark State does book buybacks. I did not pay for this book. I'm going to sell them this book.
Bro, I think Ube was the ploy by Big Bad Bezos.
What did
All
Big
right.
Bad Bezos
What did-
know?
what did
hear me
Ube
out,
do?
Hear me out.
Oh, yeah, and so, sorry. I'm in culture shock because for the first time in over a year, I can browse Amazon. I couldn't do anything. Anytime I would get on Amazon, it would come up with a big fucking red warning that was like, "You need to pay us or you'll die." I'm like, oh.
Oh.
Yeah,
Shout
so I
to
can use
Ube.
Amazon, and Ube just does keep the book. He said, "Keep it or donate it." Thanks, Ube.
Ube, can I
Ube.
sell it for a profit?
I'm going to.
I would.
No, Bezos was watching what Ube was saying, and they were in cahoots over this. Bezos goes, "Tell him he can keep it. Tell him he can keep it." Ube tells you can keep it. You're happy. You're having a great time. You're going to go
Ube's
down
like-
to Athens and have fun. You're going to come home. And when you walk into your house, Bezos is going to be sitting there on the couch with his legs crossed.
What are you doing here?
He's going to be like, "Hey, John."
Have a seat.
Yeah. And then you're going to sit down, and Ube is going to walk out from the closet. And he's going to say, "John, I'm sorry. Bezos made me do it."
He
He's
threatened
like-
my family.
He's going to say, "Good work, Ube." And then you're going to get taken away to the gulag.
Then they're gonna break your kneecaps with baseball bats while he screams at you in Russian.
No, he's gonna be like,
He's gonna beat me with the book.
he's gonna like when Ube comes out of the closet and apologize, be like, "Thanks, Ube," and then he's gonna fucking shoot Ube.
Yeah.
Holy shit, not Ube.
And then an Amazon drone takes the body away.
And this is how Rush Hour 3 starts.
Holy fuck.
Holy shit!
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I avoided a debt for over a year and I didn't get shafted for it.
Can we just make an announcement? Don't do that ever.
Do that.
No, don't.
Absolutely fucking do that. I'm proof that it works. You can flip a fucking profit. Everybody scam Amazon.
Scam Jeff Bezos.
Do not follow Jonathan's financial decisions. I think he just got lucky and Ube was a G.
My mom was laughing so hard. She said, "You have been getting threatening emails from Amazon
We're coming for you.
for over a year,
I mean,
and all it took 45 minutes to resolve it, and you had to send three
and
messages.
a guy named Ube.
That's it.
45 minutes and a guy named Ube. Ube, if you're watching the podcast, big shout.
Yeah,
big
seriously,
shouts,
big
Ube.
shouts to
Fucking
Ube.
shouts to Obey. He saved
You
my ass.
saved Jonathan from being the goober of the year.
Wow,
Not.
Jay finds his book in his backpack, and all I get is embarrassment when my parents find my backpack.
Mine has Love Live keychains. People see that in public.
Oh wait,
Everyone at the
did I not
gym.
tell you guys the story of when I
I was gonna say, wait, why are
out
they?
of high school, my first year out of high school in college?
Uh-uh.
Oh, I feel like I'm gonna regret telling this story on the
Yeah, me
podcast.
too.
Man, they
Curious.
hammered you in June and July. Dude, that is fucked.
yeah.
There's like 6 of them a month.
Jesus Christ.
Oh
The
wow.
Amazon messages they've been sending me saying, "Give us our book. Give us our book."
So I feel like I'm gonna regret telling this story on the podcast.
No, you
but,
won't.
Here we are.
You're already on an
Before I
anime
get into it, I love you, Sencho. Please marry me. Don't take this story into consideration.
Step on his balls.
Pop them.
So when I got out of high school, I decided my mom had just gotten let go from work because it was a big cutoff at Akron. So I went to OSU because I was going to pay the same amount either way. I had to pay for my first year, so I was like, fuck it, I'll go down there. I was still in my first relationship. This was before she cheated on me. Hey, fun times. And I was with one of the people I met down there, and we were just hanging out. And I get a call from my mom, or no, I get a text from my mom, and she's like, "Hey, what's with this book bag in your closet?" I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, "Well, we were trying to find a backpack for your sister to use for the year." I was like, "Yeah, okay, she can use it. I don't see a problem." She's like, "Why were there condoms in the backpack?"
No.
And I said,
It's for science.
I got like the really bad sweats. I was like, I don't know what to say here other than like, why would I have condoms? Like,
The only thing that makes that like a little better is the fact that you were 2 hours away.
yeah, that's the only thing saving my.
But when you go back home, it's like, hey, Mom, I'm not coming home. Sorry, ever again.
I'm not coming either, so you can keep the condoms.
But I was like,
Oh, dude, that kind of gives my tummy the queasies.
And I was sitting there. No, she texted me at first. She called me and asked me what was with the condoms. So I'm on the phone at someone else's dorm room while my mom asked me why there's condoms in the backpack. And I turn red. I get like, start sweating. I'm like, I can't say anything out loud because that's just not right. So
That's
like,
fucked.
yeah. And my mom's like, "No, I'm just playing with you. I'm just glad you're staying safe out there." And I was like, "Why the fuck?"
Mom's a G.
Mom's
I
kind
was
of
like,
a G. Dude.
Fuck off.
I don't remember which twin. One of the twins has a similar story.
Oh, that happened to me. Not
What is it? What is it? She said, I quote, "I found your stash."
no.
or
She
something
said I
like-
found what you were hiding. I'm like, I wasn't hiding anything. and she wasn't happy, but I was like, it could be worse. Like I could have a kid or something.
Yeah. I could have twins.
It could be worse. And then I get back home, like the first time coming back home after that, and my mom goes, "Yeah, your sister was trying to hide them from you so I wouldn't see them." So shouts taters.
Bro,
for
taters.
doing that.
Shouts taters.
I got home. I gave my sister a high five. I was like, "You're a fucking boss."
Yeah. You
Taters
tried.
balled
You
out.
tried,
Tried.
and that's worth it.
There's nothing she could do though.
Taters, if you're watching the podcast, go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
When I first started drinking with the twins, I have a mom finding something story too. It's very short though. When I was just started like, partaking in the devil's liquor.
Nectar.
I forget where I got it, but I got this bottle of Sky vodka. It's pretty nice vodka.
Yeah,
It's not a bad vodka. I got this bottle. It's not great.
Sky sucks.
It was the cloudy bottle, like the one that's like
Sky doesn't make a cloudy
clouded
bottle.
glass.
Like Belvedere or
Grey Goose.
Grey
does.
Goose and
Yeah,
Belvedere.
well, then it was
the
one of those because
frosted.
it was a clouded glass bottle. I thought it was Sky.
I fuck with Grey Goose.
It was either Sky
Yeah,
or
Grey Goose.
or it was either Grey Goose or Belvedere. So
It was a higher class
yeah,
vodka.
it was a clouded glass bottle vodka, and it was pretty good. It had a heavy metal twist cap.
That might have been Belvedere.
Sounds like Belvedere.
Okay.
Belvedere.
Okay, yeah, I mean this was like sophomore year of high school. So, my mom, I hid it from her, and the way I hid it is I took the bottle and I put it in a big leather cowboy boot, and I put it in my closet inside of a big leather cowboy boot, and that just hid the bottle. Like, so if this is the bottle, it hit everything but this. So you could see the cap, but you couldn't. It was harder to see than if I just put the bottle in my closet. Like last year or something, not crazy long ago, I was sitting downstairs having a glass of wine with my mom, and we ran out of wine. I was like, man, wish we weren't out of wine. Like, I need something to drink. Like, we need to get drinks. And my mom said, why don't you go check your vodka boot?
Oh,
And I
geez,
went-
did she
I went-
really?
My what? And she said, your vodka boot. I was like, when did you find that? She said, like, sophomore year. She said, I found it, like, when you were a sophomore. I'm like, what?
Oh my god.
Fucking rocked my world.
You know, that's kind of how I would be as a parent. If I found my kid hid vodka in a fucking
boot.
cowboy boot, I'm not going to ask him about it. It's
No.
not worth my time.
I
like-
hid it in a big leather cowboy boot.
Is
Like-
it still there?
The bottle
no.
very well could be. If I go home, I can check.
Dude,
when I
can
go
you
home.
check?
I doubt it's there. I probably threw it out.
Like, the funniest thing about that is that if it were me, my mom would be like, why don't you check your boot? I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Vodka boot? I don't understand.
I have the boots still.
She's like, there's vodka in a boot upstairs. I'm like, when did I put vodka in a
What?
boot?
I didn't know where else to hide it. It's a big bottle. It's like, usually
What?
I have places to hide things, but like, where do you hide a liquor bottle? It's hard.
When me and Anthony started drinking, it was just too fucking obvious for my parents. Like,
You didn't hide it.
no, we didn't hide it
No.
because we didn't have to because they knew. Like, they knew when my buddy Trevor came over, we were getting right fucked. Like, they're like, oh, Trevor's here. They're going to go have a fire and drink water.
And then the fire department and the police show up.
Yeah. I mean, like, we tried to clean up, but we're fucking pissed drunk. And, like, we're bound to leave
Every can.
every can out in the fucking yard.
or just throw it in the regular trash can on top.
Yeah.
You didn't even try.
Really, all my parents did was that they would, if we woke up, they'd be like, "How you feeling this morning?" I'd be like,
Great.
"Eh." I'd mutter, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Like, it was painful. We never really hid anything because they knew.
I mean, you were the youngest of 4, so it's like they've already had to do it with your brother and
Yeah.
sister.
They never.
Taylor was like
Taylor,
a goody two shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Taylor and
true.
Joe never did it at home either.
Nah, Joe just chewed tobacco, chewed tobacco,
Shoot
chewed
back
tobacco.
a spit. Yeah,
I'll
that
never
was.
forget.
I never really. Not saying that you should do this at home. I never really underage drank.
I didn't start till I was like
17.
17.
My dad would be like, "You want a beer?" I'm like, "No." Like that would be conversation. He'd be like, "Come out, you're gonna do a shot with me." I'm like, "Okay, I guess."
See, it's always liquor. Liquor's, you always start with liquor.
Yeah.
It's
And
just
then-
better.
Well, I mean, I had beer before that, but I didn't like it.
Exactly.
The only
That's
My
beer
dad
I
liked
had
drink.
before that was Bud Light, and I fucking hated
All
it.
my dad drank was Bud
I
Light.
hate Bud
All
Light,
my
dude.
dad used to
And
drink.
Hate
It tastes so bad. And
It's
then you get it in
disgusting.
the fucking aluminum cans. Or not the aluminum cans, the aluminum
bottle.
bottles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it tasted
yeah.
a million times worse.
My dad has devolved. He used to be a Bud Light drinker. Now he drinks Bush.
My dad
Bush is
went-
better than Bud Light. I'll stand by that.
My dad
Really?
went from Bud
100%.
Light to Labatt Blue.
My dad hasn't drank, I don't think, ever.
Ever.
That's true. He drinks Pepsi
He drinks
He
Pepsi
does like Pepsi.
and grape juice,
And root beer.
root
and
beer,
milk.
and milk.
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 I
Out
love
of the
milk.
chewed cup.
Milk.
Out of the chewed cup.
Dude, he's had that cup. God, how long has he had that
Ginger
cup?
chewed that cup.
Ginger, my
Ginger
old dog
died
chewed that
when we were in third grade.
third grade.
How
Actually,
fucking old was I?
She
in
died
third?
on our birthday.
That
Yeah, our birthday in third grade.
She died on our birthday. What year was that?
Ooh,
I don't even know. I have no
we
idea.
started high school in 2013.
I don't even know how old I was.
Third
Well,
grade.
it was third grade, so 5 years back from 2013, essentially.
2000.
So 2008.
8.
So you guys were 10.
Yeah,
I think we were going.
2008, 2009.
I remember
like
Ginger.
that.
We were going
so
to-
I was around 8. So
We
I
were turning
remember.
11. I think.
That's when Ginger
That makes
died.
sense.
So my dad's had that cup even longer. I would say he's had that cup since like fucking 2005.
Jesus Christ.
6 or 7 going into kindergarten.
What's up with the cup? Why does he like it so much?
Be like,
I mean, at this point, it's sentimental.
Yeah,
but
I
like
get that.
before that, I don't know. I guess it was just a bargain deal.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
it's just my dad's
I
cup.
expect to see that cup until the day I die.
You probably will. You'll inherit that cup.
I would love to inherit the cup.
You know what I miss?
What?
2 things I miss. Vanzilla, which I do have a picture of
I
if
miss
anyone wants to
Vanzilla.
see. And our fucking white van.
The white Luke. I wish Luke could have seen the white van.
Wait, your
He would have
dad's
loved
big
it.
green van?
Yep, I got a picture
Yeah.
of it.
You have a picture of the van?
I took a picture of it because I knew it was going away.
Oh, dude, that thing was...
Are we gonna put a picture of it on the podcast?
Can we use the vans as the thumbnail? Dude.
This is Vanzilla.
Oh, my
No way!
God,
That's
no
Vanzilla.
way!
When me and Alex started driving, my dad was like, "You guys aren't allowed to drive this because it's not safe."
There's no rims.
That was a Ford Aerostar. No, was it an Aerostar?
I don't think so.
Dude, there's no rear end. It
It's-
just
it's
doesn't
gone.
have
Show
a
Luke.
rear end.
That was
what the fuck is this?
That's
That was
Vanzilla.
my dad's van, and then I have a picture on Volston's Instagram
The
Of a-
big white...
of the white van.
There's a
not
video
allowed to
with it.
drive this. It's not safe.
Yeah, he
I
was like,
wouldn't
no.
want to.
Oh, dude, you should see the white van. It's worse.
That was my first
It was
car.
way worse.
The white van, that thing at least looks like it won't try and hurt you. The white van will take you.
It was a 1995 GMC Safari.
Safari.
No back seats. It was like
It didn't have
it-
back
it's
seats
what you
or
would,
an interior.
It's what you would buy for a business if you were hauling shit.
Luke, it didn't have fabric inside of it. It was metal and they put plywood on the floor.
How long ago was
Here it was.
That was their first car.
That was my first car. I drove that to high school.
The lights on the dash didn't work.
And what was hilarious is I took it to Circle K one day after school.
That was our daily
like,
driver. That
other
was my
people-
first car.
Other people from the high school would go down to that Circle K, and while I was inside, they all hid inside the van. And I go in, I'm like, "Where the fuck have you guys been?" There were people hiding inside of my van.
Yeah.
Dude, it was dope. It got all the attention. I miss it.
Yeah, I remember when we were freshmen, all the seniors would ask me and Anthony, like, "Lubies, is that your van?" We're like,
Fuck yeah.
"Yeah." They're like, "That thing is fucking badass."
Yeah, it was.
Like, yeah, I know. It's cool, right? I'm
And
so
when it got to
embarrassed.
55, it shook like mad.
On the highway.
It was not
It-
supposed to be on the
Well,
highway.
it was scary when it was.
And my dad didn't let it fucking die. The fuel pump went, and he's like, "All right."
He cut open the back of it. Like
He
the
goes inside the
floor.
van, gets a sawzall, and saws out the floor of the metal fucking van and replaces the fucking pump. He's like, "This van is staying." I'm like, "Why?"
No, why?
Did the van outlast the Taurus and the Buick? Or one of them?
The Taurus died. The van outlasted the Taurus.
The Taurus died 6 months after we got it.
The Taurus sucked.
Actually, it was just the summer.
And old Blue, rest her soul.
Rest her soul. Rip in peace, old Blue.
She was falling apart bad. Well, no, she started falling apart bad when me and Alex replaced the radio.
So
And then it got, like, there were electrical issues, so it would just sometimes not start.
Which one cunted the chicken on the highway?
I didn't cunt the chicken. I got into an accident head on.
oh yeah.
And then my dad, it gets towed home. He's like, "No way in hell I'm driving this thing home." It should have been totaled. My dad goes, "Nah." Replaces some parts, pulls out the dents, and goes, "She's good."
he didn't like he pulled out the dents to some extent, but it was you could tell the front end was just fucked.
And then
It
the
was-
inside started falling apart. The whole door panel of the, was it the back passenger seat on the left?
Yeah.
Was gone. It was metal, and it would stay inside my trunk
You could
or
see
inside the car.
you could see the inside of how the door opened and worked, but you couldn't open it.
I think the driver window stopped working.
Yeah.
So in order to go to a drive-thru, you had to open your door.
That's right, you did.
It was loud as fucking shit. It was so loud.
Which one went the power steering went by?
That was the Taurus.
The Taurus power steering would
Didn't
go
work
like every
at all.
6 days. You put in more fluid.
Yeah, it didn't work at all. There was one time me and Anthony were driving home from Cuyahoga Falls, and we're just driving on the highway. We're like, yeah, we just worked for my buddy's stepdad, blah, blah, blah. We hear this boom, and then and the muffler fell. And this guy pulls up to us like, your fucking muffler fell. So we pull off, and we don't have any rope or anything. So I take my shoelaces and tie my muffler up. And it was like that for like 3 weeks.
And then we took out the radio, and there was just a hole where the radio
I
should
remember
be.
that because you never put a new one in, did you? Yeah, and then the car, every time you got in it, for some reason, felt humid. Like always. And there was the hole, and I remember asking you about it, and I was like, what's that? You're like, it's the hole. And I'm like, cool.
Oh, man, shitty. I can't wait. Like, if I ever have a kid, I can't wait to give him a shitty car.
Bro, my plan, I'm going to buy, what was that, a 99 Buick Century? I'm going to buy one. It's going to be the navy blue.
It was a 98.
It was 98.
I'm
going to do exactly what happened to Old Blue. I'm going to beat the fuck out of the front end, take out the radio, take off the door panel, straight pipe it so it's loud, break the window.
Pipe it so it's
I'm going to have an old lady, Amish, of course, hit me while I'm going into a Taco Bell.
She was so mad. No, I don't know. She didn't
was
show
like,
any expression.
She was like disassociative. She wouldn't say a word.
This car should not have moved. Like the front tire was bent 45 degrees inward, and I was mad. So I floored it into this Taco Bell, and I scraped the fuck out of this car, or like at least the wheel well with my tire, because I was mad. I'm like, I'm getting off the road. I go out to this lady, and she's still on the road, and I walk up to her window. I'm like, hey, you should probably pull in here. I'll call the cops. She just looked at me.
She hit you?
It was my fault.
But she hit us, yeah.
Pretty much turned into her. Anyway.
You didn't turn into her. We turned and she kept going.
I mean, I think I didn't have the right of way.
You didn't. You were at fault. But she hit us.
Okay.
My plan is to give my kids my current car. I'm going to make this fucker last forever.
Damn right.
This piece of shit. If I can will it to drive with a seized motor, I can will this thing to live as long as I feel
unseize the motor.
No, I didn't. I had the motor replaced.
Jesus.
On a recall, so it was free. But it was before I met you guys. I think it was 2 years ago, almost. Might be longer or shorter. I don't remember now. But I was driving down to meet Jacob and Art because RJ was in town and we were coming down to North Canton. I'm just past the Portage exit, and I'm almost to the Everguard exit. Right there, my engine goes boom. I'm like, well, that doesn't sound good. And then all I hear is like the whole time.
No.
And it's loud as fuck. I'm like, people on the highway definitely hear this. So I'm driving, and my car's RPMs are going like this. And I'm like,
it's wagging its tail.
I'm like, oh, that's not very cool. And my first thought was, well, I'm not pulling over here. This is 77. I'm not getting a tow truck here. Fuck that. So I got off the highway. I got all the way to Blaze from off the highway on a seized motor.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, I forced it the whole way there.
Jeez.
I got from there all the way to Blaze. My car, I got into a parking spot. Completely got to a parking spot. Everything was fine. My car's motor goes boom, and then the whole thing turns off, and I go, I made it.
Did you at least get some pizza?
Yeah, of course.
Thank
Of course
God.
I got some pizza while I waited for the tow truck to get there. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, all right, well, I want to know what the hell went on, because I didn't know. You don't know when your motor seizes.
Mm-hmm.
You just know something went wrong. It sounded like maybe a belt could have snapped or something. Who knows? So I go out there. I'm like, all right, let me try and turn it on. Nothing. No noise, nothing. Nothing even tries to start. Nothing rotates or anything. I'm like, it might be a problem.
Yeah, she's broken.
There might be a problem here. Like, when I press the push to start, and it goes, I'm like,
She's not
interesting. I goes to my uncle's shop. My uncle looks at the motor. He's like, I don't even remember how many pistons are on my fucking engine, but he's like, yeah, over half of them are seized.
I can't believe that.
I was like,
That's like a new car, wasn't it?
no, it was used. It had 100,000 miles when I got my car.
It's not
Still
bad
not
for a
bad.
Chevy.
A Hyundai.
It's a Honda.
Oh wait, I thought you had a Malibu.
If it was a Chevy, it would have died at
It's a
40,000.
Hyundai.
No, he had a because he has the
I
same
used to have a
car.
Cobalt.
Because you have the same
Who
car,
had it?
right, Luke? You just
Yeah.
rebuilt the engine.
Yeah, it's the same car
Yeah,
still.
it's the same car.
It's not bad for a Cadillac.
But I was sitting there and my uncle's like, yeah, you're going to need a whole new motor. I was like, that's cunted. And then he's like, so anytime anything is wrong with any of our cars, my uncle's first question is, when's the last time you got an oil change? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I needed one. Like, that's all I knew. I was like, I know I need an oil change. And I was going to get one tomorrow. And he's like, well, if you ran out of oil and it burned up your engine, there's nothing they can do about it. I'm like, I don't think I burned the fucking engine because I didn't have oil.
That reminds me, Luke, I got to get an oil
Hey,
change.
my rear axle's separated and the tires are gone. When was the last time I got an oil change?
Well, you know,
Like,
the
I'd be
bolts
like-
could have got loose because the oil.
I'll be like, there's a weird noise with my car. And he's like, do you get an oil change? I'm like, the fuck does that change? I remember the one time my starter went out the one day and I had to. So you guys have been to my house.
Mm-hmm.
Where I park right there, I had to push my car up the hill a little bit to line it up so that my dad and I could chain it and pull it up the driveway for the tow truck because you're not getting a tow truck back there.
Mm-hmm.
That is the hardest thing in the fucking world is pushing a dead car up a hill.
I can't imagine that's an easy task.
Because he's like, all right, now turn the wheel. So I'm like one hand pushing off the frame, other hand no power steering, turning the fucking wheel.
I can relate to no
I
power
was
steering.
like, what the fuck are we doing? He's like, we have to line it up a little bit, and then I had to get in my car while he had it chained to his truck. He pulled it up the hill. I had to, without power steering, guide it up next to my house so I didn't hit the house, and then brake before I hit his truck.
You'll love to see
I
it.
was like, man, I've had some very interesting car problems with
Adventures of Luke and his car.
this one. It's basically brand new. It makes a weird noise now, and I don't know what it is, so I need to get that looked at. It's probably an oil change.
Yeah, just change the oil.
yeah,
You'll be
change
good.
the oil a little. Make
I
it
actually
brand
need to
new.
look. That reminds me, I need to see if I need to change my transmission fluid.
You
Pog.
probably should. I do.
I think I'm close to. I think I'm at the point where it needs changed.
My car needs some
The
TLC.
only thing, the only notable one I had with the Bonneville broke down a lot. Like it was like once a month. I was like, my car's broke, and it was never like something like, oh darn, it's making a funny noise. It was like, oh fuck, the engine died and it has to be
Oh
rebuilt.
shit! I smell gas.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with this. So I went to pick up our buddy Andy one time. And, like, I go to his house, and I pull into his driveway, and he says, hey, John, kind of smells like gas. I'm like, it smelled like that for a couple days. It's probably nothing. Get in the car. So he gets in the car. We go back to my house because we were, I forget where we were going, but we were going back to my house first. We were going to hang out, then go. So we get back to my house, and while we're driving, the gas smell is getting progressively more nose fucky. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm kind of feeling a little sick now. So we pull into my driveway, and I throw that bad bitch in park, and we get out, and Andy's like, dude, that gas smell is horrendous. And he looks under the car, and it's just a stream of gas just coming down. Not drips, like a... And I'm like, oh, my fucking God. So my first instinct is like, Andy, get back in the car. We got to go. And he's like, what? I'm like, we're going. And so I turn the car on and we drive out of my fucking driveway. And he's like, dude, this is fucking dangerous. It's leaking a lot of gas. I'm like, I have to get this to my dad. So we go to the gas station. I shove the pump in and pump in a quarter tank of gas. And I'm like, this should make it. We drive down Main Street, North Canton, getting high on gas fumes with all the windows down, even though with the windows down, this gas leak is so bad, we're going like, and it started to make Andy nauseous. He's like, dude, I think I'm going to fucking puke. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. We have to make it to Ryan's. By the time we get to my dad's house, we are at a half of a quarter of a tank. Like, I put a quarter in when we left my house. That's not a long trip.
That's you
It was just
expended.
dribbling. When we got into my dad's driveway, it just started pooling under the car and dribbling down that hill. My dad and me had to push that up into the garage. And my dad gets under there. He's like, all of your fuel lines are fucking awful. He's like, they are rotted to fuck. And it is a miracle that this is the first one to crack. And so I had to have all my fuel lines replaced. So that's my car story.
It's pretty sick.
We've all told a car story now.
Look at that. Well, I think that's where we'll end it for the night, guys. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of the Hello Harem
I
podcast.
shouted Sencho, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you did.
I
Of
just want to
course.
make sure.
Of
I
course.
have to make sure.
Jay, give a quick Hungry Man.
God damn it,
Oh,
I was
yeah, we
going to
almost
do
forgot.
something, you fucker.
Oh.
Never mind, I'll just do it anyway. Hungry Man! Speaking of this gas leak story and things that make me nauseous, let's talk about your products. Hungry Man, my car leaks gas and my dad left me. So, as compensation, I would like to not ask him, but instead I would like to ask you for child support. Hungry Man, support your 4 children over here at the Hello Harem podcast by sending us $5,000, tampons, a router, and
Chevy.
And a Chevy.
I feel like there was something else. And a Chevy.
It was a truck. We were asking for a Chevy
We were
truck.
asking for a Chevy? Oh,
Yeah.
no, I told them they could keep the tampons. So give us a router, $5,000, and a Chevy, and then we'll continue to shout you out on our podcast. Don't want to do that? I'll do it for free anyway, but prepare for insults the entire time. Hungry Man has been feeding the working man since 1970. Who the fuck knows? Smoke a pack of menthols and eat your Hungry Man while slugging down a cold beer and then slugging down your wife. Hungry Man, this has been Jonathan Semmer of the Hello Harem Podcast. Please hit us up at helloharempodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and you can always find us on Anchor, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. This has been Jonathan Semmer of the Hello Harem Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, lick my balls, and enjoy the backyard barbecue.
Slugging down
All right,
your
guys.
wife.
Thank you so much for listening and watching the podcast all the time. Like Jonathan had mentioned earlier, Hungry Man. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, TikTok, and he's Ram. Oh, that's so cute. Actually, they have their own colored umbrellas. If you're watching on YouTube, or if you're not watching on YouTube, Jonathan gave Rem and Ram their own umbrellas. But thank you guys so much for listening to this special episode. Not a lot of anime, but a very important topic to a lot of us here. Like we mentioned before, if you're ever feeling generous, go ahead and donate to sakura311.org or a couple other charities that are in the Tohoku or Fukushima region. Thank you very much for listening. This is the Hello Harem Podcast. We'll see you guys next week. Stay horny.